And yet, at the same time, it feels like the world is on fire. Am I right? It feels like the world is burning. Climate change threatens to flood our coastal cities, alter our agricultural production capacity, negatively impact local ecosystems around the world. Overfishing threatens to deplete our oceans of vital fisheries and underwater ecosystems. Pollution is severely impacting our coral reefs. Logging has decimated our forests and our jungles. The COVID-19 pandemic that we have experienced over the past 2 years may unfortunately be just a dress rehearsal for something far more severe to come in future years. And I don't underestimate the impact it's had on people's individual lives over the past 2 years. Political instability, conflicting goals, war, and the inability to enter dialogue about the common good for humanity on a global scale is deeply concerning and pressing. Finally, massive wealth inequality may be the straw that breaks the camel's back and sends tens and hundreds of millions of people into the streets in revolution, demanding change. There's so much good I talked about in the beginning, and still the world is on fire. This is where we are today. It's incredible. Does business have a role to play in shaping the global agenda in addressing these issues and challenges? I say yes. I say yes, it does. And I believe that we must take the lead in the for-profit sector. Many people look to government to solve our problems. But what evidence do we have that they're going to be able to solve these very difficult and challenging issues? There's no doubt that tackling these issues will require a sustained and concerted effort between the for-profit sector, the government, and the nonprofit sectors around the world for many years to come. So, may I propose 3 brief ways that businesses must take the lead to help build a better world. Number 1, operate transparently. Number 2, build with the future in mind. Number 3, care for people. Operate transparently, build with the future in mind, care for people. Operate transparently. Having a focus on ethics and a foundation of a commitment to integrity must be the bedrock of our business cultures. Doing the right thing, even when it costs more, even when it takes longer. We should never cut corners. We should comply with regulations and laws around the world in every marketplace where we do business. We must operate with transparency. We need to understand that new ESG and sustainability reporting requirements are coming into effect now, both in the EU, in the United States, and in marketplaces around the world, here in the region and across. Many will quickly follow. Global standards are currently being drafted, as you may know, by the International Sustainability Standards Board, the ISSB, under the IFRS, which is the same organization that develops the international accounting standards. Companies will be required to report on metrics including energy and water usage, waste management, diversity statistics of the employees, pay equity, board governance incentive structure, and much more. All of these metrics will be standardized, and companies around the world must report on them, on their progress over time. The reporting must be completed with the same degree of care as your financial and your tax reporting, and in many cases, it will require external third-party audit assurance, the same degree of quality as other reporting. This will set a level playing field for companies around the world, so we'll know how they're performing, and we'll be able to track their performance over time. Our business teams now need to upskill in this area. We need to educate ourselves. What are the requirements in marketplaces around the world? How will we develop a plan to respond to these and report and develop a strategy to improve over time? Number 2, build with the future in mind. Our products and services must be designed with a focus on reducing harmful impacts on the environment, for sure, both in their use by our customers and in their production in our own manufacturing facilities and all along the supply chain, all through our vendors, until it finally reaches the end consumer's hands. We must reduce our resource consumption and design products with long-term sustainability in mind. Number 3, care for people. care for people. We must treat our employees with great respect and dignity. We must treat our employees with great respect and dignity. They must be paid fairly and with equity across all demographics for the work that they are performing. We must offer training and development opportunities and be flexible in managing work-life balance. Companies need to take the lead in developing these internal policies and implement them consistently. We must contribute to the local communities in which we live and work. Now, ESG and CSR are two very different things. ESG and CSR, two different things. However, CSR is still vital, and the focus on benefiting the communities in which we live and work is still incredibly important and critical. So again, let me wrap. 3 goals businesses can take the lead on. Operate with transparency. We must. Build with the future in mind for our products and throughout our entire supply chain. And care for the people, care for our employees, care for the communities in which we live and work. I believe if we focus on these ESG priorities, then businesses can have a massive, meaningful, and long-term impact on the world, and we can lead on these issues. Let's commit to this future together. Thank you.